Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the worst fucking podcast you've ever heard. Both Mics.
Hey, welcome everybody to Both Mics.
Hey folks, Both Mics, the show about nothing and everything. That is Mike Sofka.
And that is Mike Taylor over there. And together we are Both Mics.
Yes, we are. Welcome to show number 132 of Both Mics. You can hear us everywhere podcasts can be heard. Stitcher. Is Stitcher still around? Yeah. iHeartRadio, your Alexa device. Say, Alexa, play Both Mics podcast. And our sterling, velvety voices will come over the airwaves and soothe your anxiety. Yeah, like hell. So, what's happening, Mr. Sofka? How's life? How's things?
Good, you?
Good. Yeah, pretty good. You
know, they say that imitation is supposed to be flattery, right?
Okay, yeah.
We've had a situation in the past with a certain real radio show.
Yes.
Kind of taking some of our bits, and I'm okay with it, dude. I think it's flattering, but give me an acknowledgement. Send me an email. Hey, man, just letting you know we're doing it. Whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Just come on. Let's have a little professional courtesy here. If I come up with something,
Exactly.
Now, I am not saying I came up with the term "get off my lawn," but we've got some mileage out of it, and we've looked at some things. But when I'm driving in my car and I'm listening to Shannon Burke on Florida Man Radio, which I enjoy, and I like to listen to it, and it's funny. It's on point. Shannon does a fine job all the time. He's a professional in this industry.
Yeah,
one of his underlings has started a new bit. It's called "Get Off My Lawn." And it has Clint Eastwood in the intro. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, God. Shannon. Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane. Well, I'm sure he's going to say it is his lane, but whatever. Yeah.
And I'm good with that, dude. I give these people hats off for success, but give me a phone call. Give me something. Come on, just give me a little something for the effort.
Shoot me the bird. I'll be happy with that.
How about an acknowledgement? Yeah, just an acknowledgement. Even just to me. You don't even have to tell everybody.
Right.
Just make me feel good for a second. Christ almighty. Yeah. So it got me thinking, in your previous jobs, Mike, have you ever just blatantly took what somebody else did and took it over and was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking do this?
Well, yeah. You kind of, which makes me think automatically of the supermarket business. In my 20s and 30s, I worked as a produce department manager for a major out of business now supermarket in New York, and you learn the tricks of the trade from the best, who happen to be a little bald Jewish guy, and you take what's good and you take it with you. You take what's bad. And you're like, So yeah, he had a knack for cheating and winning contests, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I helped him win these contests, but, I took his cheating ways with me when I left him. He would always say, grasshopper, take the pearl from my hand,
right?
That type of stuff. So, yeah, I kind of did. And he used to have... It was a logistical and inventory nightmare, but these have a fruit basket contest every Christmas. Who can sell the most fruit baskets? And people, we would make these things, and I would have the heat gun and shrink wrap, and I would make all these baskets, and they would have specific codes. It would be like 32. The cashier would see the thing that says 32. She'd go 32, enter, and $10.99 for a fruit basket or nut bowl, whatever. And I would I would make him, but he wanted to win because it was a big screen TV was the cash prize, and this is probably the late 80s, maybe early 90s. So what we did is he took that code 32, and he just made sure it said produce. It didn't say fruit basket; it just said produce. And then he would make the price of code 32 20 cents.
Wow.
And then he would take a case of oranges, 88 oranges, and he would put code 32 on 88 oranges and a big sign, oranges, 5 for $1. He would sell 88 oranges on a Sunday.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. And then changed the price back to $10.99. So granted, the dollar and what it says we paid and what, So he would be short a case of oranges, but he would sell 88 fruit baskets.
Now, did they send out other people to come work with you guys to bring that magic to the rest of the stores so they could learn the magic to selling all these baskets?
Yeah, it was back in the 80s and 90s. No one gave a crap. No one gave a crap about nothing. And then another thing, we used to have a scale. You put the piece of meat on the scale, and a little sticky thing comes out, and you stick it to the thing. So it's like, okay, London broil, $8.99 a pound, whatever the case may be. Well, I figured out how to program the thing.
Nice.
So we would, I would take the reduced produce, like we would take marginal fruits and vegetables, wrap it in like a tray from the meat department, and then put a sticker on it and sell it, so you can make up a little bit of the difference in your shrink numbers.
Right.
And I changed the reduced produce barcode
to 32
to match the pistachio code. And we would bag pistachios and put a sticker on it and sell it, and it would say produce or pistachios. Well, I would take that sticker and I would program the reduced produce to that, and we would sell probably $20, $30 in reduced produce a day.
Okay, that's great. Instead
Every
of throwing
day.
it out.
Yeah. So we would have contests on who can sell the most bulk pistachios.
Nice.
And of course, I always won. I always won because I never sold reduced produce.
never sold a pistachio either.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I learned from him how to cheat the system and took it away with myself. So thank you, Shannon.
And I'm all good with that. I'm all good with taking the good from people and not taking the bad and seeing things. I've been fortunate enough in many points in my life to have certain mentors that I absorbed. They were the best of what they did. Basically, I was fortunate to be partnered with them, and that's a joke from last show 131. Go look out. So what I'm saying is I'm good with that. But when you hear something that somebody else is doing and you're stealing, that's like me running a Chevy store and stealing the tagline from Toyota and using it at my store now and saying, no, it's like Thomas Edison. No, I invented it. I came up with it first.
Right.
Dude, Tesla did it. It's right here. No, that was me.
And if you say it enough, it's true.
Yeah, right. So I have a problem with people blatantly taking your work. It's like an artist. He spends, all his life training to paint. He paints these beautiful pictures. They go for thousands or millions of dollars. And there's some guy selling printed copies of his shit for $5, making a killing.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing, dude. You don't take from somebody else. And if you are going to take, I think you reach out to that person and you make some sort of connection. And if you get in an argument about it, you want to do it anyway, that's on you at that point. But
then how do you feel about public domain?
I think public domain is free for anybody. That's what it is. That's what that means, public domain. So, after a certain amount of time, everything goes to public domain, right?
Right. Exactly. Well, that's how it used to be. And that's why Disney came along and took Pocahontas and Pinocchio and Peter Pan and Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid and Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. Should I keep going?
So none of that shit was theirs.
No. It was all public domain, and they took it all. And then in 1928, he came up with this mouse. And what's 28 plus 75? Was that 1993?
2003?
Something like that, 2003? 93.
83.
So yeah, after 75 years, Mickey Mouse was supposed to become public domain.
Yeah.
Until their deep pockets got into the pockets of Congress and whoever and lawmakers and pushed it back. Pushed it back for the 99 years and then pushed it again. So yeah, public domain is now gone because of corporate America's greed. So Disney basically got rid of public domain because they want to protect what they think is theirs.
Yeah. So
how's that?
Their corporate greed has everybody in arms saying, "Oh, Disney's so great." Right? No, DeSantis called them out on these practices like this. You can't operate a city tax-free. And you're making billions of dollars tax hand over fist just in the market, let alone at the box office and video sales and Marvel and all this shit you captured and in your theme parks and all this stuff. You got to pay taxes, bruh. You haven't paid taxes since 1971. Got to pay some taxes. I mean, enough is enough. I mean, that's like me living. If I lived my whole 55 years and didn't pay tax one to anybody for anything, shit, you know where I'd be? I'd be right here in the same fucking place because I probably would have pissed away the money.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, dude, you can't take from people like that, dude. You just can't do it. It's not right. It's not right. So have you seen the news around the country about like flooding and stuff all over the place?
Just at TIA Bankfield at the freaking Motley Crue concert. Rat bastards.
Well, I'll put up pictures here and post here. The heavy rains in southwestern Virginia late Tuesday caused flash floods, damaging roads, yada, yada. There was a woman who was worried about her mother. She knew from where she was traveling, she was going to be in the midst of where a lot of this flooding was. She had no idea how to get in touch with her mother. She couldn't get in touch with her. It turns out her mother's car comes up on a Facebook post, and it's like up to the doors and shit, and there's nobody in the car.
Nice.
So evidently she had been rescued, and that put her at ease and all that stuff. And that got me thinking, I don't know how it would feel like if all of a sudden I can't get a hold of somebody, then all of a sudden I see their shit on the news, and I'm like, oh, wow, this ain't good. Have you ever had something like that happen?
No, but first of all, what kind of car was it that they were able to identify it as their mother's car? Was the license plate in it or something? It was up to the doors. The license plate wasn't in it.
I think you're making a gross
assumption.
I think these people live in an area with a lot of numbers and directions, and on the back window it has like the names of the children in cursive writing on the back windows.
In memory of Jerome.
Yeah. So I think it was pretty easy to
1985.
distinguish.
Yeah,
umbrella on the back window thing, the faded chipped paint on the car. I mean, there's probably
the crown air freshener on the dashboard.
The crown air freshener, yes. Yeah.
Oh God, we're going to hell.
Yes.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I've never seen anybody I know on the news, so.
I just wonder how that feels, where you're sitting there and you're like, they're talking about your friend or relative or coworker or whoever, and you're like, wow, I know that guy. Oh my God. It's just weird. I was just talking to him yesterday or whatever. And then all of a sudden their shit's on the news and nobody's heard from him.
Right.
Crazy. Well, we've kind of experienced that with somebody we used to work with. So yeah.
Really?
Yes.
RFC
person that went MIA and then died.
There's a bunch
Not
of them.
long ago. Oh, there's a bunch of them?
Yeah. People
I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. I thought we were talking about something on the news. But no, that's true.
I thought we were talking about RFC, meaning the last one, instead of cafe, meaning crackhead.
Lame tourist cafe. A wild place to drop and sleep.
Another story by New York Post. We had a good one in the last show. New York Post, so it must be true. Here's the headline. I paddled like hell. That was a quote from a Long Island surfer who fights off a shark by punching and bolting.
And bolting? What are we, back in 1982?
Surfer lingo, dude.
Let's bolt, bro. Let's bolt. God, we used to use
it was totally tubular. Like I was hanging 10.
Yo,
right?
Pinga, hey, let's bolt. Yeah, we used to talk like that back in the 80s. Oh, God.
Sean Donnelly, 41, of Mastic Beach, is one of 5 people attacked by sharks in Long Island in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
He was lying on his surfboard at 7:30 a.m. Wednesday near Smith Point County Park in Shirley when the man-eater sunk his teeth into his left calf. The shark ambushed me, Donnelly told the Post. I have never been more scared in my entire life. I screamed and flailed. The bite sent him plunging into the water off his board, and it was only 7 feet of water, but it was 40 feet from shore where he could see the sand tiger shark's spotted dorsal fin.
Wow.
He ended up punching him in the nose to get away, scrambled back on his board. The shark was only 5 feet long.
Surely you can't be serious.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
But
surely
first of all, I didn't know you could surf off Long Island.
Right. Well, I guess you can attempt to surf anywhere there's water. You can surf in your bathtub.
But there being 5 attacks at that area in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Something's bringing the sharks in or something. It's some sort of bait fish, or it's people feeding the sharks, or I don't know. It's just curious to me that Long Island, New Smyrna is the shark capital. We are not letting you take that from us, New York.
We went to the beach after work last night, and kids had a great time. And it was a couple of guys out there surfing. I'm like, oh, I guess it depends on which beach you go to in our area. But the waves were a little bit bigger here at Volano Beach than the previous beaches we've gone to. Even though it's all the same freaking beach, waves were a little bit bigger here. So there was some guys out there surfing.
So this really started this series of shark bites I'm giving you started on June 30th with a 37-year-old swimmer near Jones Beach in Wantagh.
Yep.
A July 3rd, lifeguard Zach Gallo near Smith Point County Park in Shirley. July 7th, lifeguard John Mullins, Ocean Beach on the Fire Island. July 13th, Sean Donnelly at Smith Point County Park in Shirley again.
Yeah.
And then July 13th, the 49-year-old Arizona man at Seaview Beach on Fire Island.
I wonder if they're all like in close proximity. And I wonder if it's the same shark each time.
Well, it could be. They're saying all along the shore from New Jersey to New England, there's a lot of bait in the water. It's a wilderness area, so you wouldn't go on safari in the Amazon without planning before you go, so pay attention. Don't swim or surf by yourself. Don't go swimming or surfing at dawn or dusk when sharks are more likely to be hunting. No, go in the middle of the freaking day when it's 104 degrees outside.
Right? Yeah, this was dusk last night. But it's not New Smyrna.
That's crazy. Have you ever been in a situation where you were attacked by a shark or about to be attacked by a shark?
Never even seen one in the water.
Okay. Well, now that you've said that, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll my wife's book club last month actually read Jaws as their book for the month. It's like, really?
See, now that I could have gone to that book club and acted like I read the book. I mean,
we're
going to need a bigger boat. You know, I know the lines.
Well, that's the movie. She said the book was actually more of a romantic type book. It was definitely. She said probably about a third of the book made it into the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, believe it or not, and the movies were on like TBS or something shortly after. So we recorded all of them, but only watched the first one.
My favorite part in Jaws is when they're all sitting in the boat. It's nighttime. The boat's all rocking. They're playing cards or whatever. They're drinking. And they're, oh, yeah, this is where I got bit over here on Montauk and da-da-da-da-da. He got me here and oh, yeah. Oh, that's nothing. Let me show you this one. And they're trying to outdo each other with their shark bites.
With their scars and their whatnot. Yeah.
And that's typical guy stuff because there's certain segments of the population, like in the car business. You can't top anybody in the car business. I sold 50 cars yesterday all by myself. Oh, that's nothing. I sold 65 all by myself. Stop.
In a snowstorm.
Yeah, just stop. But that's my favorite. Do you have a favorite scene from that movie?
I've actually just saw it for the first time, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, dude.
This movie came out in 1977 or something.
75.
There you go.
Jaws 1, so I was like 9, so I'm not going
but you've had 45 years to see Jaws.
Yeah, I saw Jaws 2 in the movie theater with my dad. And
I was almost an extra on Jaws 3 at SeaWorld, filmed in 3D.
Yes.
I missed it. I missed the cut.
Yeah, and then after that there's another Jaws movie, which was like go back to the well.
I'll tell you, it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, that movie. It did.
Yeah.
I was
I never saw it. It scared the crap out of me. It's probably why I never went to go see it.
Oh no, my parents always went to the drive-in. They took us to see it. They took us to see The Exorcist at the drive-in.
Oh my God,
I was like 5 or 7 or whatever.
It explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to the drive-in. My sister was well behaved, so for the summer, my sister would go to my grandmother's house, and I would be home because I couldn't behave. And every Monday, my mom would take me to the drive-in, and we go to the drive-in movie.
I miss that stuff, dude.
And then in '82, I was 14, and my sister's boyfriend, who I've talked about more than once on this program, he would in the summer, I would sneak out of the house at like 9 o'clock at night. I'd tell my dad, "Oh, I'm going to sleep." 9 o'clock, and I'd walk down in the basement to my room and walk out the back door, get in my sister's boyfriend's car, and 3 times a week we would sneak into the movie theater to the drive-in because there was 3 different drive-in theaters where we lived. There was one in Muncie, there was one in Orangeburg, and one in Nyack, and we would go to each one differently, each week, because that's back then they would change the movie every week. But like in 1980, I've seen like E.T. and all kinds of stupid horror movies at the drive-in, and we would sneak in, just sit there, watch the movie.
When I was up there in Saraville, we lived at the tallest house on the highest mountain, and from my bedroom window, you could see the bridge in South Amboy, and it was a drive-in right there.
Yeah,
and
wow.
It was maybe 2 miles away, a mile away or something, not that far, but every Saturday night at 11 p.m., they showed the nudie pictures.
Yes. Yes.
So I would be in my room with the binoculars, trying to see the friggin'. Okay, it's 11:01. Let's go. It's showtime.
You got it made, huh? Yeah. We're watching it scrambled on HBO through the scrambled cable box. Yeah.
There's a lot of nutty weather and stuff like that going on around the country right now. According to theguardian.com, Yosemite wildfire continues to grow as it pushes east into the Sierra National Forest. They say the giant sequoias are still safe as firefighters face challenges from warm and dry conditions fueling the blaze. So Yellowstone floods. We're having crazy rain and flooding all over the country. Now here we are, Yosemite. There's been wildfires all over the country. There always is. It is what it is. But it's our national parks and stuff. Some of these sequoias, they have a sequoia that they know is older than Christ being on Earth. It's like over 2,000 years old.
Wow.
You got to save this stuff. You can't let this stuff go. You can't. I hope they get it contained. I hope they get it under control. I hope they're able to save a lot of people. And then because this whole giant acreage is on fire, if you have a house in that area, even just a ash could start a fire on your roof.
Yep.
Have you ever been like near a giant fire like that, a wildfire? Because we have them here in Florida.
Yeah, just the one that happened in Kissimmee, God, probably 1999, 2000, somewhere around there, just shortly after I moved to the area. And, parts of 192 were blocked off just west of Disney, and I had to take like back routes to get home and all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's the closest I've been to, any kind of wildfires.
We've been preparing for the Washburn fire for decades. So where this fire is heading now, adding that the small targeted fires lit over the past 50 years essentially stopped the fire in its tracks when hit up at the Mariposa Grove and allow firefighters to stand their ground and set up. Because what they do is they do back burns, and then they'll burn the stuff in front of it as well in a control burn, and then the fire will die out because there's nowhere to go. Right,
it can't, unless it skips over the area they burn.
Or the ashes or embers start a fire somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy, dude. I can't believe I'm putting up pictures here and post of all these firefighters doing this tough work. It's got to be a hard job because you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're relying on whatever water you brought with you. And you got, basically a hatchet or an axe and a shovel, and that's how you fight the fire. Crazy.
Well, there was a program, God, probably more than 10 years ago I seen, and like this wildfire was coming through, and these guys were camping, and they were kind of stuck in this little valley area, and you could see the fire coming. And then like they went to sleep and they woke up in the morning and the fire actually like went around them, and they were all safe and lived, but you could see like everything was burned out. It was, you know, the difference between one day was unbelievable.
Crazy. And think of all the wildlife that gets lost or endangered or driven off into a different area. Then they get killed in that different area and all that. I mean, I'm not a tree hugger or nothing, but I do have a heart and I do care about stuff like that. And it's just a shame. I hope they get this situation under control. Much like I hope they get this other situation under control. It's according to FoxNews.com, so this must be true. California fentanyl bust. Feds seize 1 million counterfeit pills worth up to $20 million. So
counterfeit
pills are $20 a pop. Fentanyl.
Well, how do they know it's counterfeit fentanyl if it's counterfeit?
Well, because it's not made by the manufacturer. You can buy I can make.
Okay.
I can buy this stuff I need online to make pills or put them in capsules or whatever, and just pop them out and then sell them. If I wanted, I could open up a business doing that, but it's against the law.
So it was actual fentanyl, but it was.
Yeah, they say it's the largest seizure of fentanyl-laced pills that the DEA has ever made in California. Let's see. The pills have an estimated street value of $15 to $20 million and are believed to be linked to the drug trafficking ring associated with the Sinaloa cartel. The massive seizure, and I'm putting up pictures here. This is a lot of friggin' pills, dude. This covers like a whole wall in bundles, like packages, dude.
Wow.
The massive seizure disrupted the flow of dangerous amounts of fentanyl into our streets and probably saved many lives. They say that one pill of fentanyl can kill like a shit ton of people.
Yes.
They say here fentanyl, a dangerous opioid up to 100 times stronger than morphine, was detected in about 2/3 of the record 107,622 fatal drug overdoses last year, according to the CDC. So the CDC wouldn't lie to us. I know that, right?
Well,
anyway,
here's the thing with that. It's so potent that like even getting the dust on your skin, and like
that's true.
The cops and the people who like collect this stuff have to have what some kind of anti-venom or shot, like needles with this shot in it.
Narcan.
Narcan, yes. They have to like have like a bunch of these needles and syringes ready with Narcan in it, because they're transporting and moving and taking care of this stuff. They'll have an overdose and they have to like shoot them in the freaking heart with Narcan in order to like make him come back around.
I personally know 3 people in the past 5 years. Now, I'm not saying that there were more acquaintances. I would see these people. Some of them were coworkers and so forth. I mean, we hung out on occasion, but it wasn't like, we were doing a show together every Friday or something, It wasn't right. Like that.
Yeah. These
3 people I'm talking about in the past 5 years all died because of fentanyl laced shit that they were into.
Wow.
So it's a sad situation. They were young, a lot younger than me. One just turned 21. One was in the late 20s to early 30s, and the other one was in the mid 30s. As far as age. So, you can't trust anything or anybody anymore. Where the hell am I supposed to buy my Coke now where it's not going to be fentanyl laced?
Well, dude, you got YouTube. Just make your own.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there. Let's see. Let's check and see if there's a video on YouTube how to make cocaine. How? No, that's who. How to make? What's the first thing that comes up when I type in how to make?
I don't know what. Pasta?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Okay, I was close.
Number 2, French toast.
Nice.
Number 3, paper airplane. Number 4, money online. Number 5, how to make ice cream at home.
There you go.
I put in CO and cold brew coffee comes up. I put COC, coconut comes up. And cocaine. Of course, there's no lead. Cocaine production.
Mike, there's somebody at your door. It's the authorities. They know in the Google box you put in how to make cocaine. They have questions.
Cocoa leaves became cocaine. Trafficking. Making cocaine in the Amazon. How to make
because
cocaine.
I'm sure that's real smart for somebody to put a video up showing them making cocaine. I'm sure that's everywhere. Yeah.
There's a video here of Gordon Ramsay on cocaine.
Well, he's always on cocaine. You ever see that guy fly around the kitchen? Oh, it's bloody raw. Oh my God. What are you, a fucking retard? I mean, he's the most politically incorrect dude, and he gets away with it. I love it.
Yeah. Making benzocaine. Now, is benzocaine the same as cocaine? Well, benzene will kill you, right?
I don't know. So will fentanyl. You know, they gave me fentanyl when I've been in the hospital with these multiple surgeries I've had. They a couple times I've accidentally came across some of the requisitions from the hospital and the itemized billing and all that. Yeah. And it said they gave me fentanyl. I didn't even know it. Wow. But obviously that was in a controlled situation. You know, they knew the dosage. They knew, you know, what the safe levels were and so forth. These, you know, a lot of times you're getting something that's laced with fentanyl. You don't know it. And then apparently, you know, there's too much of it in there because they're trying to make more money on the drug they're selling by cutting it with the fentanyl. And they're killing people, which I don't understand that business model. Why would I want to kill my customer when they keep coming back for more every week?
Right.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Well, it's because they're freaking stupid.
Speaking of being on cocaine, Florida skinny dippers break a record. According to FoxNews.com. No, I don't know if they were on coke. The Florida nonprofit annually holds a skinny dipping contest at Blind Creek Beach.
Nice.
You know where Blind Creek Beach is, Mike?
I can't see. No.
It's in St. Lucie County. So it's down by Port St. Lucie then, okay? The Treasure Coast Naturist organized its annual skinny dip on July 10th at Blind Creek in St. Augustine County in an attempt to break last year's record number of 431 people simultaneously skinny dipping, according to the nonprofit, which promotes a clothing optional lifestyle. Ew. Blind Creek Beach became a harbor for nudists in June 2020. The St. Lucie County Commission allowed 36 of the 408 acres to be clothing-less. According to Visit Florida, the nude beach is one of only 3 in Florida. The other 2 are Hallover Beach, I know where that is, in Miami, and Cape Canaveral. And the Cape Canaveral, Hallover Beach should be in Cape Canaveral. They got this mixed up here. So the one at Cape Canaveral Seashore and then Hallover Beach in Miami is what it says here.
I thought the one in Cape Canaveral was Playa Linda.
I think that's a little further up
than
Cape Canaveral. I don't know. It's near Cocoa, I thought Playa Linda was. So this week they had 769 people. Now I got a picture up here I'm putting up in post, and it's an aerial shot of 769 people all naked standing on the beach. It looks like they're at a concert. It's the concert crowd. So picture you at a concert, Mike, with a crowd of people around you. You're elbow to elbow. I mean, if somebody farts, you're going to smell it, and everybody's naked. Now, I don't mind that if they're porn star naked. Let's face it. These are not porn stars. We all know who this is.
Yeah, not Aunt Gertrude naked.
Yeah, no, dude.
A lot of extra skin flying around.
So, here's my question. Even if you haven't skinny dipped before, would you have been comfortable, because there were so many other people, of taking part in this? Or maybe do a both mics thing next year. We show up, you go down there, you know, and I'll stay in the studio.
Yeah, no, that's quite all right. It's quite all right.
Yeah. I just don't get it, dude. I'm okay with it. People can do whatever they want, but I don't know if I could stand in a crowd of 800 other naked people.
Yeah, no.
I feel like I'm getting put on a train. Auschwitz or something. You know, no.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Not my thing.
Have you ever been skinny dipping at all?
I used to have my own pool.
That wasn't my question.
You used to have your own pool. So yeah.
Yes. But you haven't been out in nature somewhere at a lake or at a creek or at a beach or something? And
No. I had to pull over on the side of the highway once and take a shit.
Nice.
Does that count?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, no.
We had put something up like that about the thing when you have to pull over with the
explosive.
Yeah, the chick, she had a 10-gallon bucket with the toilet seat lid on it, and she had like a thing. It looked like a car window shade that was rolled up, and she pulled it out and popped it up, and it looked like a porta potty. So you could pull over on the side of the road, pop this tent thing up. It came out and popped up instantly. Then you put your bucket in the porta potty thing, and you go do your business. Then you come out, you unzip it. It's like a tent type thing. You unzip it, and you're on your way.
Some tractor trailer rides off the road and smashes into it at 80 miles an hour.
Right. I want to know. I mean, pretty much there's rest stops or places you could take a shit just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I'd have to be in the middle of the desert in Africa with, people shooting at me to take a shit out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, if some people have dyspepsia.
What is dyspepsia?
Upset stomach.
Oh. I thought that was like fear of shitting in public or something.
No. Nope.
Which reminds me of the Family Guy thing. You ever watch Family Guy? You ever seen that?
Yes.
Did you ever see the one where Peter and the neighbor Quagmire end up starting a singing duet? And one of their songs they go around and sing is called Home Bowl. And he talks about he can't poop anywhere else. He's left his child with strangers to go take a poop, and he can only poop in his home bowl. He can't poop anywhere else.
Yes. The first time I ever saw Family Guy was at your house.
Cool.
I've never watched Family Guy before that, and it was probably on for 10 years.
I don't like all of it anymore. They got political in the past couple years, but pretty much, dude, I like the show. I always have.
Yes.
No,
go ahead.
No. I was going to say, this brings me to my third favorite part of the show. So Shannon Burke, go ahead and get your record button ready. Go ahead and record this shit. We're coming up with.
Make sure your pen works.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Not in this lifetime, Sonny. Well, I think you're an overeducated 27-year-old version. As a Mexican, a Jew, and a colored guy go into a bar. The bartender looks up and says, "Get the fuck out of here." Get off my lawn. Used to stack fucks like you 5 feet high in Korea. Use you for sandbags. Can't you people just leave me alone? Get off my lawn. You'd think the cold would keep all the idiots out. What are all you fish heads looking at anyway? Get off my lawn. You people.
Our Get Off My Lawn guy here is an Oklahoma man.
Oklahoma.
And first of all, Get Off My Lawn guy, I shouldn't need to explain it. You should know what that is just by the name, okay?
Right. Yes.
Two
Disgruntled old
Oklahoma men were noodling.
Noodling.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what noodling is?
I think it's like dilly-dallying, just kind of...
When I just say noodling, that means to me that these guys might be, possible candidates for monkeypox. Noodling is fishing with your bare hands.
Ah, okay.
Apparently you're like wading in the water and you're digging for like a catfish hole or something, and you stick your hand in there and the catfish bites down on your arm, and then you open up your hand and you pull the whole catfish out, and you're pulling up these like monster catfish, dude. These giant monster.
Didn't realize that freaking catfish have teeth.
Right. Well, this story is great here. An Oklahoma man allegedly killed his friend over the weekend because he thought that the victim had summoned Bigfoot to kill him while they were fishing. This is according to Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and local media reports.
Is this a follow-up to the fentanyl story you just did?
Larry Doyle Sanders, 53, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He had gone noodling or fishing with bare hands on Saturday in the South Canadian River with his friend Jimmy Knighton. A confrontation ensued, and Sanders told authorities he struck and strangled Knighton, whose body was found the next day in the river. A special agent with the state law enforcement agency wrote that Sanders told him he discovered at the river that Knighton intended to feed him to Sasquatch/Bigfoot.
It isn't. God. So I guess Sasquatch is everywhere.
I think it's regional. I think like in the Arctic, or upper Canada and Russia and so forth, that's the Yeti. In Florida, it's the swamp creature, swamp man.
Yes,
like that.
cabbage man or something.
Cabbage man.
Yeah, swamp man.
Swamp ape, Florida
swamp
ape.
Yeah.
Then, of course, in the mountainous regions in the Pacific Northwest, there's Bigfoot. So, yeah.
So in Oklahoma, they don't like, he's not like the Okie foot or nothing like that.
Larry advised he believed Jimmy was trying to get away from him so the Sasquatch could eat Larry. Larry would not let Jimmy get away. Larry punched Jimmy and struck Jimmy with a stick. Larry and Jimmy fought for over an extended period of time on the ground. So I don't know what to say about that. Too much fentanyl? I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Meth is a dangerous drug.
So you commit a crime now and you just come up with the craziest story and you think it'll go away, you know?
Well, yeah, you're obviously crazy. We can't put you in jail.
Justified. Justifiable homicide. He was going to sick Bigfoot on me.
So here's a funny video here I'm putting up in post here. Handcuffed man darts across US 1, takes spill after motel search warrant. This is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And you could tell this is at one of those hotels that, like, you and I aren't going to stay at. Like, it's one of those local type people living there for short periods of time, and there's a lot of traffic in and out. Yeah.
So we stayed at a the best rate dollar-wise resort in Fort Lauderdale because we stayed there because of the rate. Everything was real expensive. This was the cheapest place, like $150 a night. And it was called a resort. I don't even know the name of it, but resort was in the name. And it was more like a leper prison than anything else. It was really, 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 really shitty. And yeah, yeah.
Well, Fort Lauderdale police shut down a portion of US 1 Thursday afternoon as they served a search warrant at a motel. Local 10 News was on the scene, and they caught them finding this guy. Everyone was like, oh, no, he ain't here. We don't know who you're talking about. Right. And they found him. They searched each room at the hotel, and they found this guy, okay? He's in cuffs, and they're getting ready to put him in the car, and he jets off. Now, he's wearing slides, like the flip-flop shoes and socks.
Right.
He's got a white tee on.
Nice.
Yeah, dark-skinned man running. He starts running. He's running, and he gets like 2 blocks away or so, and he falls. Whack! And knocks himself down.
Wow.
And they got this whole thing on film.
Nice, so, nice. Gonna have to definitely watch that one.
So they asked the manager of the motel what his thoughts were, what his reaction was to the raid Thursday afternoon. He says, I take of it they're cleaning house, which is a good thing. The manager, who didn't identify himself, said, we cannot tell you what they took or anything because it's none of my business what they took. See, he's got to play that game.
Right, right. I'll take the money from the criminal who's hiding out of my hotel, but I'm also helping the police with the other hand. Yeah.
So I'm watching some of the video footage of this whole thing, and they start asking some of the local residents about how they feel about this situation. But first, before I get into that, it was Heath Howard, 41, faces possession of cocaine with the intent to sell, possession of methamphetamine, trafficking fentanyl, trafficking methamphetamine, carrying a concealed weapon, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Nice.
We're not going to see that guy again. Tatiana Sentima, 23, she faces a trespassing charge, and Keontae Reed, 21, faces charges of attempt to escape, resisting without violence, and probation violation. She also faces charges related to multiple warrants, authorities said. So they talked to the manager, and he's like, yeah, you know, it's good. They're cleaning up. It's none of my business. You know, he's towing the line. Well,
right.
This girl gets on. She's got the weave, the wig, you know, different colored, and the nails. You know, you can tell she works at airport security.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I don't know what they're doing over here. People are just snitching. People snitching. Snitches get stitches. I don't know why they're snitching on everybody. And her girlfriend comes up and she's like, will you get the fuck, Brittney, get the hell away from there. You're talking too much. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, God.
It was just hilarious. All she was doing every time she opened her mouth was convincing me that, yes, this was a righteous thing. This is not a plot. They were at the right place. This is it. Guilty.
They got their man.
So, yeah, if I showed you the picture of these 3 that they captured, just looking at the picture, you would say, oh, yeah, they fucking did it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're guilty of something.
Oh, here you go. Somebody's guilty of something here. Texas repairman discovers human remains in a backyard grill, calls police.
Nice.
This is according to FoxNews.com. Houston police have opened a homicide investigation. Texas repairman called the police after finding human remains inside a backyard grill at a home he'd been contracted to work at on Tuesday.
Nice.
Police arrived at the scene with a search warrant and confirmed there was a body inside a large barbecue grill. There was a full skeleton inside, but the remains were quite old, and they could not yet identify whether it was a male or a female, according to local media. No charges.
This guy's snooping around? What the hell?
No charges have been filed in connection with the incident, but homicide investigators are now on the case. It's not clear whether the home is currently occupied.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of barbecue do you have that can contain a whole human skeleton?
Was in Fort Lauderdale, so maybe it was at a nice crib. Maybe they got like one of those nice backyard
Now, this was in Houston.
Yeah, Houston. Harris County.
Yes. Well, the last story was at Fort Lauderdale. Broward County.
Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of barbecue do you have that fits a whole skeleton? I don't know. And the fact that it might be a vacant home is even funnier.
Well, here's the deal. They probably just forgot to take it off the grill. If the bones were there and it's quite old, maybe they were cooking it up, and then maybe somebody brought by Taco Bell or a pizza instead, and they just were like, "Oh, okay, we'll eat that instead," and forgot about it.
Or they had, their neighbor Dave on the grill, and the cops came and arrested them and left their human burger on the grill.
That's what I'm saying. Or maybe this guy's out trying to kill somebody else and gets killed in the process, and he's like, "Oh, I got that skeleton not in my closet, but in the grill."
Yeah, that's very bizarre. But Houston is a very bizarre place.
Yes, I've been there, dude. They got like that fucking 16 lanes of traffic.
Yes.
Going all different ways. It's nuts, dude.
I bought my Mustang in Houston.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you have a Honda, right, Mike?
We do, yes. A Honda Pilot. All the bells and whistles. Texas edition.
Well, according to USAtoday.com, and we've talked about this technology previously on the show regarding digital things like your credit card and so forth, the RFID chip readers and stuff, and people can steal your shit. Is your Honda key fob vulnerable to hackers? And they go on to list, and they show an actual video of a guy. He's got this little device with an antenna on it, and it's got some push buttons. Looks like an old school video game, like the old football game from back in the days.
Yeah. And
he pushes a couple codes, and he walks up to a car. It's a Honda, and he punches in a couple codes. The car starts. He punches in a few more codes. The doors open.
Wow.
So somebody's walking by your car. They have one of these things. You don't even need to be walking by. They have a picture of a girl. She's in a public park, and she's got this device in her purse on her lap, and the car is about 25, 30 yards away from her. She's like, watch this. The lights are going to blink. She hits the button. The lights blink. The car starts. Buddy, just be careful. That's all I'm saying here. Their hackers have hacked this shit. And you know what they do? They steal cars like Hondas because the parts are outrageous. If you had to build a car part by part, it's outrageous.
Yeah.
The parts are worth a shit ton of money, especially with the devaluation of currency, the inflation of the price of vehicles. Parts are expensive, dude. Just the airbags, they can get $4 or $5 grand for it of a car.
Yeah, I told you. I read an article back in the 90s, a long time ago. The Ford Escort, to buy a Ford Escort base model was $9,999 to buy a car, Ford Escort. If you wanted to buy that same car, part by part, $32,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I thought this was safe because part of my I would go deep dive because I would have these questions on occasion when I was in the car business. Yeah. See, each time you press a button on your key fob, a pseudo-random number generator, it's called a PRNG, sends a semi-random code to the vehicle, giving the command to say, unlock the doors or open the lift gate. The car then checks the code against the list of valid codes, and if it's legit, it carries out the command. It's also supposed to invalidate previous codes to keep bad actors from using them. Well, you can give car thieves credit because there's innovating by wirelessly stealing command codes from key fobs in a move called a rolling Pwn'd attack. And I'm assuming it's Pwn'd. It's PWN. I've never seen that word. I'm thinking it's Pwn'd. Hackers have been able to unlock and start Honda vehicles. In a report to ITSecurityGuru.com and automotive site TheDrive.com. The rise in thefts are also hitting Kias and Hyundais caused by possible design flaw.
Now, you remember I had a Saturn Vue, a green SUV, Saturn Vue.
Yes.
General Motor product. I remember going through a parking lot once, touching, clicking my fob to lock my door, and hearing a Corvette 2 rows over making beep, that same beep, beep. Every time Crazy. I did it, they both went off. So yeah, it was.
You could have had a Corvette, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the key worked. I didn't know.
Yeah, well, the door would have opened, and I just would have been sitting inside the Corvette when the cops came. Don't have a key to
which
a Corvette.
Cars are vulnerable? Which this is according to the Drive and not and confirmed. The following models are super susceptible: the 2012 Honda Civic, the 2020 CRV, the 2020 Honda Accord, the 2020 Honda Odyssey, and the 2021 Honda Accord. The all completely redesigned 2022 and 2023 model year vehicles have an improved keyless remote system. Transmits codes that will immediately expire, which would prevent this type of attack from being successful. Models with the newer, more secure keyless entry system include the 2022 Civic, the 2023 HRV, the 2022 Acura MDX, and the 2023 Acura Integra.
Yes, same company, Acura, Honda.
That's just crazy to me, dude. So a rolling Pwn'd attack. That's what they're called.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yep.
We're living in crazy times, dude.
Yep. People always looking to get ahead one way or another.
So have you seen this guy that's in the Russian prison, Brittney Griner?
this guy?
Yeah, I remember this dude when he played women's college basketball. He had a giant mustache. He shaved it when he went to the pros in the Olympics. Brittney Griner, 6'9".
What?
6'9", dude. Tall chick.
Wow.
Catch you up on the story if you've been living under a rock. She wanted to capture some more money, so she's already won the Olympics twice, and she's already won a WNBA championship. We don't know that because nobody watches the freaking WNBA.
Right,
but
right.
The cries, especially over social media, are like, oh, well, if this was LeBron James, he'd be back already. No, this is called karma.
Yeah.
This is called karma, Brittney. Remember when you knelt at the national anthem? Remember when you said you're not even going to play in the WNBA anymore because they play the national anthem?
Right.
Well, in Russia, I guess they let you have one phone call. Who did you call? You called somebody here. I get it. The place was real bad. It sucked. You were so oppressed here. You've lived such an oppressed lifestyle in this country. You were a slave. That's not fair that they're playing the national anthem, a song that you don't like and agree with for your politics. So you leave the country and you go on a money grab. Well, while you're over there, you're traveling with marijuana vape cartridges. That the deal. I mean, there's reports of Cheech and Chong and people like that going to different countries and even them having handlers and people around them reassure. Okay, just so we're clear, I know we checked the luggage this morning. Do you have anything on you? Is there anything else you forgot about? Is there anything from last trip that you brought back that maybe you got in and maybe it's still in a little pocket in the suitcase? You double check all that shit because one thing you don't want to do is be caught in a foreign country on drug charges. This is what happens. So I say, even though I don't like LeBron either, if LeBron was over there, this wouldn't have happened to LeBron because he's smarter than that. So it's not about, oh, no one thinks the WNBA is important or LeBron would be back already. It's not about that. It's about you being a friggin' retard and karma coming back to hit you in the ass. Now, I know I'm going to get emails and stuff about saying the R word, and I get it. I'm okay with it. Come at me. But I don't know what else to call it at this point. You were so oppressed in this country, and you were so vocal about your feelings, and now you're begging for help. And do you know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to do a prisoner exchange.
Wow.
Do you know what they're going to have to give up in this prisoner exchange?
No. Has it been determined?
Let me look it up for you so I can give you the name. But basically, we're giving up one of the most notorious arms dealers. They call him like the butcher and stuff like that because he creates bombs and shit to kill people. They call him the merchant of death. He's currently serving a 25-year term in our country for terrorism. And because this stupid bitch took a vape weed thing, my life is now in jeopardy because she can't get her shit together.
Wow. Dumbass.
Merchant of death. That's who we're going to exchange for this stupid bitch. Sorry, I'm a little fired up over this.
I couldn't tell.
Victor Bout is this guy's name. Notorious arms dealer.
Wow.
The U.S. State Department has determined Russia has wrongfully detained the Mercury Center. Bullshit. Now, she's been arrested and in jail since February, and she just now pled guilty, and she did that because she was told to do that by the U.S. government because that would expedite things because the other guy's already locked up. But if you're in forever in a trial, I hope Russia says no, but Russia wants this guy. They want this arms dealer guy. Do you think that's a fair trade? Am I out of line here?
No, it's definitely not a fair trade. And it would be ironic that if when she came back, that someone killed her for it.
Yeah, well, I just think this is just all wrong. And it's what you get. It's what you get. It's karma. And I'm good with that. And you know what? I'm not saying that I hope any U.S. citizen, but we have other people that are captured in Russia. They just don't make the highlights. And they don't have Al Sharpton coming out for a payday. Oh, this is racist of our government not to fight for. Stop, dude. Really? I just find it. Oh, I made a mistake and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you think there'll be a photo op of her getting off the airplane kissing the ground when she gets back?
Hell no. I'm finding out where she's flying. I'm going to go out there and hold up my sign. Iron my shirt, bitch. Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey.
Baba booey. Baba booey.
All right. Well, we're winding down here. We got about 3 minutes left here.
Yeah.
You're okay with not giving up the Merchant of Death, right?
No. Yeah, he can stay where he's at.
So you know that's exactly what they're going to do then, dude. That's exactly what's going to happen. Crazy.
Unreal. Unbelievable.
You're a season ticket holder to the WNBA, though, right?
Well, yeah. You know, I remember once you told me who was on your fantasy NBA team.
Sorry, I can't go to the Cheap Trick concert. I got a WNBA draft tonight.
Yeah. For people listening, Mike came up to me and goes, "Hey, do you want to know who's on my fantasy WNBA team?" I go, yeah, sure. And he goes, cricket. As in, no one is. Is there a fantasy league for WNBA?
Yes, you can play fantasy on anything, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
There's even now that these sites, DraftKings and
Duel
and FanDuel, now that they've got the fantasy player to stick the tip in, now they're full on gambling. So now they're like, oh yeah, come on with it.
Yep.
Hammer time.
Yeah, we have a place up here called like Fan Deck or something like that. It's like a sports betting type place, and it took over. I think the dog track or something is now like a sports betting place, and yeah, I'm like, I wonder if they have like table games there. You know,
that's another thing. I hate the fact that the dogs are gone. I can't find Highlight anywhere. I mean, that was shit he used to like to do.
Highlight
was great because, see, I could go to the dogs and I can yell, "You fucking dog, you fucking run," or whatever. I can do that at Highlight, and because the dude drops the ball on purpose because they can see the odds as the game's going on and stuff. And he I dropped it. I'm like, "You fucking idiot!" The guy will turn around and flip you off. That's what I like about Highlight. You have that exchange.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's about wrap up time here. Anybody you're going to shout out to, Mike?
Not today.
All right. That's all right. I do want to remind everybody, it's fantasy football season. Hit me up at winningfantasyfootball.com. Never won your league, want to win your league, you got a big money league? Come see me at winningfantasyfootball.com. It's also known as Hall of Fame fantasyfootball.com. I guarantee you're going to make the playoffs in your league. I have a playoff guarantee. Last year, over 93% of my customers made the playoffs in their league. A lot of people were first-time winners, and they can't believe it. All starts with the draft. You can't call me after all the shit hits the fan. You need to make some bad decisions. Look, I made bad decisions, but I've been doing this for over 25 years. I found a way to do it, and I was happy and lucky to be inducted into the Fantasy Football Hall of Fame, sponsored by Yahoo and Toyota. So hit me up. I can help you. It's cheap. It's affordable. Put some money in your pocket. Be a winner. Take home the trophy. Check out my friend Gino Losi, Ginolosi, on socials. Biggest fish possible. Fish you never thought you'd ever catch in Florida. Check out my friend Night Fan Stan over at Jet Set Printing for all your printing needs. And, of course, check out the Melon Patch Theater in Leesburg. Go see some community theater. Buy some advertising. Dust on the Line doing a wonderful job there with that group. Go catch a play or something.
Cool.
I think I got all that in.
That was one breath?
Yes.
One sentence?
That was 132. Jesus.
Yes.
This is awesome. I can't believe we're at 132. I like it. I love it. Thank you for being a wonderful co-part in this, Mike.
Woo.
For our continued success.
Yay, me.
Hopefully, we'll see you at 133, and hopefully we'll see you at 233, and so on and so on.
Right.
Until next time, we'll see you.
Ciao.